There certainly will be some dry weather, Charlotte, in the coming few days. There has been a lot of dry weather this weekend, but we need to remember that for England and Wales, September was the first month since back in February when we had a smidgen above average rainfall. We need many more months like that. And October, barely any rain really in the south in comparison with what's happening further north. Capel Cirig having had half its October rainfall already in a week, and more than that for parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. And that's where the rain's been falling through the day as well today. And it will continue to do so in the north and west over the coming couple of days. Midweek on really, but by the end of the week, there is the sign that we'll see some much needed significant rain further south too. But at the moment, pretty miserable out there across Scotland and Northern Ireland, as you can see on our rainfall chart here, with gale force winds to go with it in some areas. And that's moving now into northwestern parts of England and Wales. So 30 to 40 millimetres in the north, a good inch or so over the hills of northern England and Wales. It does narrow as it heads southwards, but it'll certainly dampen the ground. It means milder weather here overnight, spray and standing water for the rush hour, but a chillier night further south, although bear in mind, still those gale force winds blowing throughout tonight and tomorrow across the far north of Scotland. But it's the northwesterly pushing that rain in the south away. So by the time we get to late morning, much drier and much brighter for all, notably so for Northern Ireland and Scotland compared with today. Just a tad down temperatures only because we've changed the wind direction to the northwesterly. But feeling pleasant in the sunshine. But now that the nights are longer than the days, temperatures will drop overnight quite substantially, and we'll see a frost in some rural parts of England and Wales more notably, but perhaps further north as well. And with the high pressure returning to southern areas, so returning that dry weather Monday into Tuesday, some fog issues as well. Just weak weather fronts flirting with the north and west of Scotland means that many areas on Tuesday too will have a dry day, fewer showers around, temperatures on a par with those of Monday, around about average for the time of year once the fog clears away, which it takes a time at this time of year, but it does clear away. There'll be some bright sunny weather coming through, but then that ridge of high pressure slipping away, allowing these weather fronts to come in midweek. This one on Wednesday gets a little stalled, so there's some uncertainty on the timing. Ahead of it, some mist and fog, but some bright dry weather, and then brightening up to the north of it as well. Eventually that rain reaching southern and eastern areas through Wednesday night. Now it's then that we turn our attention to the Atlantic for some potentially significant rain coming into southern areas on Thursday. Here it is. It's not just going to yield wet weather, but also potentially our windiest weather of the week for England and Wales. Initially, a little bit of mist and fog, fine start to the day, holding on to that in the north and the east of Scotland, but turning really quite wet by tea time across England and Wales. Still relatively mild with that rain, but the rain's the main feature then, which pushes away then through Thursday night into Friday. And Friday sees the driving low pressure, which could give some quite powerful winds across Scotland. Need to keep an eye on that one. Gusts of wind potentially in excess of 70 miles an hour, and that low pressure will stay with us into the weekend, driving in wet weather on Friday into northern and western areas in particular. It could be very wet and very windy through the likes of the central belt of Scotland. Obviously it's a long way off and we'll keep you posted, but it does look as if we are going to see some more rain after a mainly dry start to the week. Charlotte.